I want to thank you all for tuning in to Black Video News. I'm Keith Scott. This is a special announcement today, and I'm really excited about my guest today. I have right here State Representative Miss Laura Thompson in District 120. How you doing, Laura?
I'm doing good. How
Good.
about yourself?
I'm doing well. I want to thank you for taking the time out to talk to us here at Black Video News. And I want to go right into it, Laura.
Okay.
You are the state representative in District 120. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
But I want my viewers to know, because this was a really tricky election. You know, when we talk about, such rich history with Ruth McClendon stepping down. So could you please elaborate on a little bit when we talk about the election, early election, and some of the things that my viewers may not even know about when we talk about how this election took place?
Okay. Well, there were three components that had never existed before to make this election different. And
Correct.
there were two different elections going on at the same time. Ruth Jones McClendon stepped down at the end of January. And so as a result, the Governor Abbott, had the option of appointing somebody or setting a special election, which he chose to set a special election.
Correct.
In the interim, there was a primary that was scheduled to be held in March, which it was.
Correct.
And so there were 6 people running in that race. And then the special election opportunity came up May 7th.
Correct.
In the interim, the primaries had a runoff.
Correct.
So which caused there to be 2 elections in May.
Correct.
May 7th for the special election, May 24th for the runoff for the primaries.
Yeah, can you just let my viewers know who was in the runoff too also? We talking Barbara Hawkins
And Mario
Salas for
Yes.
my viewers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and those 2 individuals wanted to be in the special election, but they weren't eligible to be in the special election because of residency restrictions.
Okay.
And so it was an opportunity for myself and some of the other candidates that were in the primaries to get in the special election race.
Okay.
And one additional person that didn't run in the primaries.
Right.
The third thing that was different is an independent has never run before.
Correct. That's what I want them to know.
And so in the midst of the primary, the general primary election, the special election, there was an independent in there. Okay, as an independent, I'm not allowed on the primary ballot because it's bipartisan. It's a partisan race.
Correct.
Democrat, Republican.
Correct.
So, but I still had the same filing requirements. I had to file by December 14th to declare that I was going to be an independent. And then my primary purpose for running as an independent was to be able to get on the November 8th ballot, which finally came to fruition.
Right.
So I've been in office since August 2nd because we had to have a runoff in the special election as well. And so here I am as the sitting state rep. And then on June 23rd, I had to file. That was the deadline to file my application to be on the ballot and my petition to see if I had 500 signatures to qualify to be on the ballot.
Right.
I found out that I submitted 616, but there were a lot of discrepancies that the Secretary of State found in terms of illegible signatures, and because there were no Republicans on the ballot, Republicans that voted in the Democratic primaries were qualified to sign the ballot, but they were ruled out.
Right.
And so once we brought that to their attention, they were able to go in and readjust the number of signatures that I had, and we found out that we were over 500 signatures.
Wow. And let's talk about that too, because you're the first independent to actually, in over 50 years, I want my viewers to know that, you accomplished something, we're talking half of a century or maybe even a little more than that for the independent to be on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk about that a little bit too, what it took to get all these signatures, Laura.
Right. It's really weird. I really didn't know the rules of what it took to be an independent. I didn't know that the historical piece of it. I didn't
Right.
know that, I was the first to be elected in half a century. I didn't know any of that stuff. I thought it
Correct.
was just normal for an independent to file, but it wasn't. It was difficult to get those signatures because it was hot.
Yeah.
It was a hot season.
Summertime, trying to get signatures.
It was difficult to keep people engaged, because once people say, no, I don't want to do that, then it discourages people. So it was difficult. So it was about 3 or 4 of us that remained consistent. We had 30 days to do it. So we kind of set a goal of how many we wanted to get and divided it by 30 days. And so we just focused on that small amount every day until we got the signatures. And we ended up with 616 signatures
Wow. So
that we turned in.
wow. So you put the work in, got over 600 signatures.
hmm And so, a lot of people said, oh, it's impossible. But because they don't know the rules and the guidelines for an independent petition, they didn't really understand it. So some people thought we had to get 500 signatures from independents.
Correct.
And then some people say, well, if they voted in the primaries, they don't qualify. That's partially true. If you're a Democrat and you voted in the primaries, then you don't qualify to sign the petition. But because there was no Republican candidate on the ballot, then any Republican that signed the petition was eligible. So we basically focused on mostly Republicans to get that signature. We went into areas where it was a high concentration of Republican voters.
Okay.
And so we were able to get signatures from them. As a matter of fact, this morning, before I came to the office, I had someone that called and they said, we saw saw that you got on the ballot, and I was one of the ones that signed your petition, and so anything you need or any help you need, with your campaign, give me a call.
Right.
And I'll be happy to help you to get more support and more voters. So it was a win, not only for me as a state rep, but it was a win for the individuals that supported and signed the petition. A lot of them, I live in the neighborhood where I got most of the signatures in Royal Ridge, and I live close to Windcrest. And so it was really a blessing and exciting to know that, people that live in your surrounding area support you like that.
Right. So where do you think, where do you think you're getting all the support from? How do people, the voters that don't know who Laura Thompson is, but find out who you are, tell us a little bit about Laura Thompson and some of the things that you've done in the community here in the Alamo City.
Well, number one, I'm a native San Antonian.
Correct.
I grew up in Denver Heights. I attended Mount Zion First Baptist Church, which was at the time when I was growing up one of the most prominent churches in the community. My mother was a teacher, an educator.
Okay.
At King Middle School, which was previously Riley Junior High School. So I have a lot of family here, and we participated in all different types of activities. My brother played sports, had a sister in the band, just so we know a lot of people. I didn't really, I was surprised when I came in first in the first special election.
Right.
But then I found out that people as far back as elementary school, were rooting for me.
Wow.
And people, they just started coming out of the woodwork. People, that have, been in some of my publications, came out to support. People with Sisters in Business, which is an organization that I founded, came out to support. I've been working in the schools doing non-traditional programs since '95, and so people where I help their kids, I've worked with kids that I've seen graduate from college and are successfully working in professional positions now. And so the support, it didn't come out of nowhere, but when people heard that I was running and they knew me, it resonated with them.
Right.
Because when we were growing up, most of the African Americans were all concentrated on the east side, some on the west side. Mr. Booker grew up on
Right.
the west side,
Right.
but you know, a lot of the people that you know I grew up with or watched me grow up, you know, recognize my name, and I have a big footprint in the community from just doing a lot of community service and you know public service, but the type of business that I own, the Laura Thompson agency. You know, I was a media and public relations executive, and I did a lot of public involvement work. So I'm known on the ground, and then I'm known on the corporate level, and then a lot of governmental entities. I've worked with state agencies and Bexar County and the city agencies and transit agencies.
So you got a proven track record.
So I've, you know,
Right.
I've done the work.
So you got a proven track record. Here you are. You overcome this obstacle when we talk about getting on the ballot for November. But here we are in September. We got such a short period of time before the election takes place. And, you know, we got a huge election with the presidential election and a lot of different ballots, and people are on the ballots that people don't know about. So you got a short period of time. What are you trying to accomplish in a short period of time to gain momentum if it, you know, falls in your favor and you get reelected as state rep?
Okay. Well, we plan to campaign hard. You know, I have a background in you know, advertising and marketing and public relations, and I also surround myself with a team of people that have that same ability.
Correct.
The special election, I just use social media, email blast, text, very few phone calls, no block walking, no signs. I know that I'm going to have signs for the upcoming campaign.
Okay.
To get more visibility. You know, I did like 16,000 mailers during the special election.
Okay.
So I'm sure that helped. And I didn't do any visiting churches or anything during the special election, but I am going to be doing that now.
Okay.
We have an open house coming up in October.
Right.
To invite people in to you know, come visit the office, and you know, we're going to have the open area in Comerica Bank, so people can come and meet and greet and talk about their issues. We are going to have an education town hall meeting where we're going to be inviting people in. I'm going to be doing a tour. I've had a literacy program called Read and Lead, and so we have a lot of pictures that we've blown up of kids, and we're going to be donating those to public school libraries within the district, and giving them a certificate at the school to let them know that we support education, we support literacy. And part of that tour, we're going to be talking about the importance of good conduct and behavior.
Okay.
And so we're going to be partnering with SAPD, representatives from SAPD, to you know, help us with that tour. Technology is a big priority for me.
Okay.
You know, your venue, you know, lends itself to technology.
Yes.
Through Black Video News, and you know, that's where we always say that's where the future is, but it's now. You know,
Yes.
we're doing it now, and so we need to prepare not only, you know, our kids they already, you know, adapt to technology, but we need to get them to be producers and executive producers like, you know, Black Video News, to get an online presence, to learn how to code and do those things at an early age. So technology and education kind of go hand in hand in terms of what we need to do to get our people in our district prepared to, you know, level the playing field so they can get in the game.
Well, thank you, Laura, for mentioning us at BVN. But also, before we wrap up, I want my viewers to know what's going to separate you from the other candidate when this election takes place.
I don't know, but the fact that I'm from San Antonio, I've done a lot of things on the ground in San Antonio. My opponent, you know, I applaud my opponent. You know, she's done a great service, and she lends a great service through education, you know, to the community. But she's kind of been behind the scenes. As a matter of fact, I've had an opportunity to work with some of her kids with some of my non-traditional programs, and I know she does a great job. But you know, I've been, you know, out there on the ground. You know, I've worked with governmental agencies in public involvement, doing the same type work that I would do as a state representative, gathering information for public officials, just like people will do for me now. I have a bunch of corporate relationships where, you know, if we need to do public-private partnerships, I'll be able to do that. Commissioner Tommy Calvert has gone through some of my non-traditional programs when he was at Sam Houston High School.
Okay.
So I have a long history of dealing with young people, professionals, corporate entities, and governmental agencies for a long time.
Okay. What about our seniors too also, our senior citizens?
Seniors are, I go out and talk to them. I work with the Antioch Sports Complex with Gail Collins to come and do presentations and help her to get people to come over to talk to them about using technology and cell phones, and
right.
Talk to them about safety, and I want to look at their medical needs and make sure that they're receiving the proper services that they need to thrive as seniors, because seniors are living a long time. My mom is 85 years old.
Yeah, people are living longer nowadays.
Yeah, so we just got to protect the entire community.
Okay. Well, Laura, I want to thank you. Can you please let my viewers know date and time, election, and then also how they can get more into depth with Laura Thompson, our state representative, District 120. You can give them an email address or something that people that want to know more about you and more about the election. Can you leave them with something, a contact information, please?
Okay. Well, early voting begins October 24th through November 4th here in Bexar County. And November 8th is Election Day. For more information about, who I am, I have a presence on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page, and also the Vote for Laura Thompson for District 120 State Rep. And we also have a website presence at www.votelaurathompson.com. And so we have an open door policy here at the office too, where you can call and get more information about the services that we provide out of the office. So thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for talking to us. This is Laura Thompson, our state representative right here in District 120 in the Alamo City. This is a special report. Keith Scott, Black Video News.
This is Laura Thompson, your state representative for District 120. And as you know, Election Day is coming up November 8th. And guess what? I'm on the ballot and I'm asking for your vote. October 24th through November 4th is early voting, and November 8th is Election Day. I'm your sitting representative right now, so I'm asking you to re-elect Laura Thompson for your District 120 state representative. My mantra is, if it matters to you, it matters to me. Vote for me now, November 8th, for District 120 state representative. Thanks.